Dito malakas yun.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Monday morning's thought-provoking change. We are excited to have you all here, both our new people and the people that have been with us for a little while. We are excited to have all of you. Welcome, Jordan. Welcome, Sparrow. You guys are our newbies on the list for this morning, and we want to welcome all of you here. Whether you are watching us live and you're here on the call with us, or you are watching the replay that is broadcast on Facebook, on YouTube, we welcome you and we look to you for your input, for your experience, and for your words of advice as we communicate here on the live call. Just leave your thoughts and your comments in the section below and let us hear from you. We really look to learn from you just as you are from us. So this morning we are going to talk about the power of your network. We've all heard, I'm sure, the term, your network determines your net worth. However, it goes deeper than that, in my opinion. Having the right people around you will transform your life. We've heard the saying that you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. We've heard the old saying, show me your 5 friends and I'll show you your future. They all go hand in hand. And they are true. I have been in the commercial services business for 20 years, and I really stuck to a very small group of people. In the past year and a half, I have really branched out to meet new people, to learn new things, to grow my network, to grow my sphere of influence. By getting out and getting involved in various groups, various masterminds, and just getting out and meeting people, shaking hands, kissing babies, so to speak. I'm not kissing a stranger's baby, but by doing that, you meet new people. The beauty to it is every single person that is on this call, with the exception of my wife, came from me expanding my sphere of influence and expanding my network. You meet a lot of great, amazing, incredible people that you may do business with. You may form partnerships with. Some people you will meet that you won't form a business partnership with, yet you will form an amazing friendship that will help carry you through life. I mean, the people that you meet, the people that you interact with will change your life. For the past week, I have been at 2 different networking events, if you want to call it that. One was a mastermind in Las Vegas. And again, that's where I met Sparrow at. Amanda and her incredible boyfriend, I met them through that same mastermind. Not at that same event, but through the same group. Cheryl Ritchie that just joined in, we met there too. Ken, good morning. We met there as well. We're talking about the power of a network. And it's great that you guys are pouring in, because I'm able to say, hey, these are people that I met just this week at an event. You grow your network, you grow your sphere of influence, you grow your friends, changes your life. After I finished with the event in Las Vegas, I flew to Santa Monica, California for a movie premiere. It was actually a documentary called The Power of Thought. Met some amazing and incredible people there. Various public speakers that are very well known across the nation and across the world. And again, just increasing that sphere of my network. You never know who you're going to meet. All that it takes is you meeting the right person one time to change your life completely. It's so easy to look and say we have to have this aha moment, or, a God moment, or the aliens pouring in from outer space to give you the word that you need to get to the next level, to get to a better point in life. And although sometimes that is needed, sometimes it's just shaking the right hand, saying hello to the right person, and continuing that relationship. You see, Lisa's a perfect example as well. I met her at the same event I was at this week. I met her at that event last May. And here she is. The thing is, just because you meet and shake hands one time, just because you have an amazing time with a group of people for a week, for a weekend, you have to put forth the work to keep that relationship going. And again, sometimes business will come out of it. Sometimes it's just a friendship. And sometimes that friendship leads you to somebody else that you may do business with. It's not always about the business. There is a personal side too. And you have people that you interact with. Real quick story from the past week. One of the events that we were in, we were paired off into groups. Cheryl and I were in a group together. And without getting into the nonsense of everything that went on, she and I kind of recoiled from the group, and we really did more talking amongst ourselves than we did in that group. But see, here's the thing, a relationship was formed. She's here, nobody else in that group is here. And that's okay, that's great. We got the coolest of the cool, right, Cheryl? Yes.
Nikki's on the call.
Yeah, I am too. I'm Amanda.
Nikki, yeah, you were in our group. That's
No.
right. Nikki was in our group.
Jonathan, I was in your group, so now who's ignoring who?
I'll text you. I'll text you and let you know what I think. I started texting Nikki before she knew my phone number. Kate had her phone number, so I got it from my wife. I started texting her, and I'm like doing sweet talking to her. I'm like, hey, how are you? Why are you ignoring me? So whenever you hear me making comments to her about, I'll text you and let you know, that's where it is. And then she responds with, hello, Jonathan.
It's okay, Jonathan. I love you.
Love you too. So let me hear from you guys. What is the power of a network to you guys? Ken, would you like to share? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm 100% with you. It's your network is, there's a famous saying, your network is your net worth, or your net worth is your network. It works both ways. And whether it's through business or friendships, and one of the great people that offers networking skills is Jordan Harbinger. I don't know if you guys are familiar with his podcast.
I am not. I'm going to write it down. Jordan, what's his last name? Harbinger. Okay.
He offers it's called 6-minute networking. It's a free course on his website, but he's all about digging the well before you get thirsty. That's his tagline. And if you go through and listen to his podcast, the people he's had on there are just incredible, and it's all through his network that he built. He actually had a podcast called The Art of Charm that he basically got fired from and had to rebuild his show from the ground up, and half of his team from the first show left with him, and they just got together and started networking, and they built an incredible podcast now. One of my favorites that I listen to. So yeah, I'm 100% with you on that.
That's awesome. It is so overly important. Good morning, Amanda. What's your take on the power of your personal network? Amanda, you with us? Sparrow, let's hear from you. What's the power of your network, buddy?
Did you say Sparrow?
I said Sparrow. We calling on you,
All right.
buddy.
Sorry about that. I'm packing my car to go golfing. So the power of the network, for me, running a corporation, my network was the 150 people that worked for me. And I never really thought outside of my network because it wasn't my mindset. It wasn't how I was raised. So stepping out of a corporation and stepping into entrepreneurship, you realize the value of networking. And over the last year, I've met amazing people, with last week probably being the most amazing people I've met, just for the simple fact that you guys got me to open up. I don't know if somebody was clicking and snapping behind me and hypnotizing me and doing whatever they do in that room. Maybe it was the lighting. But the value of my career is going to skyrocket. It's simply just from the people I met. Whether it's a continued relationship or it was the impact that they made that week. They set a seed as a group, and now it's my job to take that seed and cultivate it and turn it into something. Will there be people in that group just from last week alone, not counting every other week seminar that I go to? I will be doing business with somebody that I met or somebody that I met last week that introduced me to somebody. So my mindset wasn't your network is your net worth, but I hear it, whether it's here, whether it's at Cardone University, it's at a tax lien university, it doesn't matter. That phrase is so common. And the more people I meet and the more people I talk to, it's true. I'm starting to realize you never know who you're talking to, such as you never know in life who somebody's going through something you don't know until you talk to them. I mean, Jonathan, you were in my group, you and I, and why everything spilled out of me like diarrhea of the mouth. It just kept running. I don't know. But again, you don't know why people are put in front of you. So every person you introduce has something to offer you, whether it's a career, it's personal growth, maybe it's just simply you helping them. It doesn't, everybody we meet, it's not about them giving us something. It's about what can we do for them? And in turn, we're both growing. So again, over the last year, I've really found value in expanding my network. And you hear a fair amount. If you're around 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th broke person. If you're around 5 drug addicts, you're going to be the 6th drug addict. Such as if you hang around a salon for a day, you're going to end up with a haircut. Same with being successful. Same with being a millionaire. If you're around 5 millionaires, you're going to be the 6th. So for me, the network is so important. And I've really learned that just over the last year. And again, I appreciate everybody on this call. And I appreciate Jonathan getting me on this call with you guys.
Absolutely. It's an honor to have you, Sparrow. It's an honor to have you. So for those of you that are watching the replays, hit #replay and let us hear your thoughts on the power of a network. I'm going to jump over real quick to Mr. Dean Park because he has an interesting spin on the whole net worth thing. He and I have talked several times in the past about this exact subject. So Dean, what's your take on a network?
You know, I agree with everything you guys all said. And Jonathan, first of all, man, I still love these calls, Jonathan. So thanks for doing this, buddy. I appreciate it, man. It's awesome. You know, here's the thing. Networks break down to me and break down into categories. So I've got a family network, I've got a friends network, and I've got an entrepreneur network. And here's the funny thing for me, your network is not really who you know. Everyone thinks that, you know, you go to, and I'm not putting one down, you go to an event, you meet a lot of people, and they say that's part of your network. It's actually not your network at all. Your network is who knows you. You know, it's not about who you know, because you can know a lot of people, but if the people don't know who you are and relate to somebody, that you can give them for example, if someone said, hey, I need a guy who can coach. I know a guy named Jonathan Ellis, you know, and if they call Jonathan and hey, Jonathan, my buddy Dean sent me your way, you'll know exactly who I am. So I think it's also cultivating the relationship, because the network is also the people that know you. And the way you build that is by serving others. At the end of the day, it's like, you know, if you think about everyone on this call, we're all busy. We're all here, entrepreneurs, we got things busy, and everyone wants to drag our time, drag things away from us. But you know, at the same time, we're also servers too as well. So when we go out there and I can serve Jonathan Sparrow, I'll meet you one day. I can serve Kyle. I serve people, you know what? And at the end of the day, it's like that's how you build your network, is by serving each other and building that relationship. It all comes down to a relationship. It's all relationship based is what it is. And it's got to go two ways, because when it goes one way and they just want something, like I've got people in my group of my circle, not my inner circle, but my core group of people that know me. I call them my acquaintances. I only have about 10 friends, and I'm one of them. A couple of them here on this call right now, but I got a lot of acquaintances, and it's funny because these acquaintances always call on because they want something, not because they can offer something. So keep that in mind. It's about serving and making that point to where they know who you are more than you know who they are.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's awesome. Cheryl, I see you on my screen. So tell us your thoughts on networking. You're muted.
The more I'm in these masterminds, the more the reality of who you are with is who you will become. And I'm in a very small community similar to Nikki in Raleigh. But what's really interesting is the more I'm going to Turning Point, Next Level, and my other two masterminds, the less socializing I'm doing in Knoxville. Matter of fact, yesterday, I usually go to brunch with a bunch of people. There's probably 10 of us there, and to be a total little jerk, my net worth is probably greater than all 10 of them. And I mean, that just, not to be a jerk, but it just shows that I'm with the wrong people.
Right.
And so I didn't even go yesterday. And every Sunday I'm in town, I go have brunch with them. And I'm finally realizing that I'm at a different level and I need to be with the people that are at my level. And my social circle in Knoxville is not with people that I can even, nobody I hang with knows really anything I do. And that just shows that I won't share that with them because they'll think I'm bragging.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're hanging with people that think you're bragging, you're hanging with the wrong people.
That's right.
So, it's really, and actually I was kind of brainstorming with my own brain and how am I going to be around my circle of influence that's equal to or greater than my status in life. And again, I don't mean to be like snotty or egotistical or arrogant, but those are the people that take you to the next level. Like every single person I have lunch with on Sundays, none of those people are going to help take me to the next level. They're not going to be able to help me solve any of my problems, any of my issues, help me brainstorm and how to get bigger. So, amongst so much that we learned this week, I think it's really setting in that I need to put some effort into my circle.
No doubt about it. My ex-wife made a comment to me one time, a long, long time ago. She said, Jonathan, you always look to put yourself around people that can better you or that you can better. You're right. You're right. Because it's not all about going up so that somebody else can pull you up. You also got to do your part in helping people rise as well. Don't forget the struggles of where you came from. Somebody else is going through those same struggles. And relationships are an interesting thing because we get into them and say, oh, this will be lifelong. It's a lifelong friendship. It's a lifelong relationship of whatever kind. Not all are though. I mean, it's great to sit here and say that everything in life is roses and everything will be perfect. Sorry, if that's what you're looking for, this probably isn't the call for you because everything's not perfect.
Right.
And even the closest of relationships that you have, a lot of times they're going to come to an end. And that doesn't mean that it was bad on one end or the other. As an example, I look back to the people that were in my life 2 years ago, and I have to look way far back because there's very few people in my life now that were in my life 2 years ago. simply because we're on different paths. And for those of you that are watching the replay of this, let us hear paths that you've been on where you have grown your network and you have also seen relationships go away. It's not always a bad thing. You know, I had people that I considered dear, close personal friends 2 years ago that some of them I still talk to, but I don't put them in that friend category. I put them in an acquaintance category. I don't think less of them by any means. It's just, there's one particular person, I'm not going to call names. I have invited this person to, this person to this call. I've invited that person to several masterminds. I've invited that person to several growth situations. I've gotten responses like, well, what if it's a scam? What if? What if? Okay, cool. You have to be conscious of what you're in. At one point at the class this past week in Las Vegas, something was said about your biggest takeaway or something, and I got the microphone. I know that's shocking, but I had the microphone and I said, you know, coming to events like this, the speaker is important. Don't misunderstand me. Who's on stage, who you're allowing to pour into you, very important. Always, always, always be very cautious of who you let pour into your life, period. That's from a personal, business, spiritual, every type of relationship. Be very cautious of who's pouring into your life. The television, everything. But I told him, I said, you know, as important as the person is on stage, the real growth really in those types of events is who you meet in the group. Dean and I met at a mastermind. Lisa and I met. You know what? I'm going to go, let me look at the screen. There's only 2 people in here that I did, or 3 people in here that I did not meet at a mastermind. Camille and Michelle, which they are the amazing engine to this team that you're seeing here. They are people that are behind the scenes making everything that you see look great. It's because of them. It's because of them. I take no credit. They are the ones doing it. And Kyle, we met through Dean, which again, I met through a mastermind. So indirectly that came. Good morning, Colin. You still on the airplane?
I actually missed my flight.
Another day in California. All right, good deal. Good deal. So Nikki, let us hear from you. What does the power of a network do for you? What does a network mean to the one, the only, the great Nikki Ragland?
Well, I just find it isn't who you know and who knows you. And right here in Raleigh, there's a real estate investor. I'm in real estate. There's a real estate investor. I've had a few emails from him off and on over the years about going to his masterminds and then also his live meetups, which he doesn't say those are masterminds. And I just kind of tossed the emails. And then Cheryl said to me this week in Vegas, she was like, do you know Javier? And I was like, I don't think I know that person. And then she said where the meeting is. And I know I got these emails to meet this at this real estate thing at this car club. And I was like, oh, wait, I do have those. So now in January, Cheryl's going to come up to Raleigh and we're going to go to this meeting that I've been getting the emails for years because he never made a connection. So he's just some random person sending me. I now have a connection with Cheryl through this mastermind seminar who doesn't even live in my state, and we're going. And then last night I watched Mr. Prosperity. I watched some of his Instagram live about real estate investing, and it's how I'm connecting to people all across the country. There are people moving all the time, everywhere, moving and shaking. And I'm going to be seeing them in Vegas again, and I'm going to be seeing them in Orlando. And this is how I'm going to connect because I've met them now. They're going to make me more connections with me, and I'm going to make more connections with them. And I fully plan on sending all kinds of business and connections to everybody that I met this week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Love to see it grow. I have a buddy and business partner. He is known for saying, let's go, let's grow. So there you go. The one, the only Cullen Stack. He seems smiling real big. That came from him. So we have something in the comments from Kenneth. It says, I think about our journey like the Pokemon cartoons. There's always someone new joining for a period of time, then dropping off to go their own way. You care to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody used to watch Pokemon cartoons or still does. My kids are still into Pokemon. There you go, Dean. Nice.
That's why I was laughing earlier. Sorry, I thought it was on mute.
But in the cartoons, they started out with a core group, and Ash is the main character, goes through, and then he meets Misty, and then he meets, I forget all their names, but every season it seems like there's one or two of his friends jumping off, and then somebody else, he meets somebody new on his journeys, and they walk for a while together, collect Pokemon, and then they go their own way when they get to whatever city they're going to. And that's kind of how what I picture when you were talking about people joining you on your journey, whether it's for lifetime or short time.
That's right. That's right. And again, just don't get disheartened when somebody does fall off the journey. The Bible talks about being or not being unequally yoked. That goes so much deeper, in my opinion, than just who you marry. Because when you have a business relationship and you are partners in a business, you're married to them. There are different benefits that you get from being married to your spouse than your business partners. Hopefully, I don't know, whatever floats your boat and whatever role you go for it. But you do have a relationship with them. There's some people on this call, several people that I have business partnerships with, and we spend a lot of time talking. Truth be told, there are times where I talk to my business partners more than I talk to my wife on a given day. And so it's very important to be equally yoked. Everybody growing. That does not mean that in a business sense, you're worth $10 million, so all your business partners be worth it. No, that's not the case. It's all about growth. It's all about picking up, continued nonstop growth. Keep going, keep growing. So we have time for one more on this call. It's been a great call. Been great having all of you here and everybody that's watching the replay. Let us hear your thoughts on the power of your network. So we have time for one more. Who else would like to go and talk about the power of a network? Colin, thank you for volunteering.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning. I'm happy I could jump on here. So I'm in Santa Monica right now. So it's it's like 6 a.m., 6:30. Power, the famous saying, your net worth is your net worth, right? Your network is your net worth. So it's so true. And it's not about the monetary aspect. It's about the talent, the skill set, the experience, the ability, and the relationship capital that you have with that individual, as well as that individual has with others, right? So everything starts with you and that partnership or that friendship and that other individual, but that other individual has another network of people that they know that they do business with, that they have friendships with, right? Personally and professionally. So it's just a ripple effect. When you have a talent and skill set and you understand the gift you have, it could be a natural gift. It could be something that you've been taught and learned throughout life. You have the ability to now take that gift and share it with your friend, share it with your business partner, right? And now you have the opportunity to have that ripple effect and create a product, a service, a business, right? And monetize that opportunity from you going from one person to another, and then through that team, through that group, turn it into something bigger than yourself, right? So that's, from my opinion, that's what I've learned. It's what I've strived for. It's not about keeping that tool, that talent, that skill set for yourself and trying to tackle the mountain and achieve greatness as an individual, as they say, a solopreneur, right? Because it can be done, but you only get so high. You only can achieve so much. And with that being said, it's always going to be greater. You're always going to be smarter, stronger, and faster if you do it as a team, right? You do it with a partner, you do it with other individuals that have gifts and skill sets that can amplify who you are, what you do, and the value that you provide the world through that talent and through that opportunity. So for me, that's really the power of your network and the power of who you are, because each and every one of you have a talent and a skill set that the world wants to see, the world wants to hear, and the world needs. And that comes from having partnerships, having relationships, and really just getting out there and helping each other.
That's right. That's right. There is a concept of you are better to receive the effort, 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of one person's efforts. You do that by network. You do that by just the power of your relationship capital, which is next week's topic. We're going to talk about relationship capital. What is it? We've all heard about capital, your capital in your bank, your Capital One credit card, what's in your wallet. Well, what's in your heart? What's in your life to make your relationship capital? Very interesting term that I had just started hearing within the past 6 months or so. I had never heard that concept before Colin said it, and it is powerful when you think about relationship capital. So we'll be discussing that next week. Remember, you are loved. It's been great having everybody here and on the recorded call. You are loved. Together, teamwork makes the dream work. We'll see you all again next week. Be blessed.